There's so few of people in the state that really understand all the intricacies of this operation. I think you have to get help from people like the association that will guide you to what's really out there. What can you obtain for your communities? What can you do in housing to help your community strengthen its position? What is available in the state that could be brought to you for help? The association has that information, and they see the successes, and they know what has occurred elsewhere, and can guide you into a direction that may benefit your community.
Entities like the Nebraska Housing Developers Association became so critically important to us because they offer statewide events and statewide association where you can network and make connections. And we pulled off 3 major projects in the community just as a result of contacts that I was able to make through their association and the conferences that they offer. The Nebraska Housing Developers Association has been very active in legislation. Housing Trust Fund is a perfect example of that, where it really was a tool created to assist projects throughout Nebraska, and was very successful at it. And because it was successful, and because Nebraska got into a financial pinch and a budget crisis, they diverted the funds away from what they were intended to be used for initially, and to help fill the budget gap. When you have an association that represents the whole state, you can have so much more political clout, which you need to get any kind of a law adopted. And I'd say it absolutely would not have happened without Housing Developers Association working with other entities across the state to make sure that that legislation was adopted initially, and then to fight very hard to get those funds back.
I think the biggest role they play is bringing together resources in a central place. And not just financial resources, which are very important, but also the kind of support that new organizations especially need to understand the industry that we're in.
And this is building relationships and partnerships?
Correct.
Well, I'm one that has fought strategic planning, and I told Danelle that the very first time. So Danelle and I have had a lot of fun talking about how we use that process, and Danelle and Julie have both come up and have guided us through a process that we've used for several years, and it grows every time we have that process. Every year we get a little better at it. It helps us as a board to look at what we have accomplished and what we still need to do in a year, and what we need to get accomplished to fulfill not only what we've told ourselves we want to do, but fulfill what we've told people that are granting us funds that we want to get accomplished in our year. It's also allowed us to see what other organizations in the association do well, and pick their brains and really gain some expertise from them, and move forward and try to bring new ideas to our organization.
The Housing Developers Association has really fine-tuned the ability to collaborate and to know what different partners can bring to the table, and to make the best use of their time and everyone else's time in doing those collaborations.
The hallways were widened out, that way it'd give me a little bit more room.
So we work with the Housing Developers Association on making homes accessible, and the down payment assistance program, which just is another complementary activity that they do with their local nonprofits that are developing housing.
The Housing Developers Association has really provided awareness to its members about the needs of people with disabilities for affordable housing, but also accessible housing, and that's been an important difference. They've been able to bring a unified voice to addressing those issues, so that programs like Making Homes Accessible and the Homeownership Opportunities Program could be developed and provide equitable access to housing for persons with disabilities across the state.
Oh, there's a lot of difference. Just the way everything was designed, I can kind of get into like the cabinets and stuff. I can get into everything that I need to get into, and the bathroom was designed so I can get up underneath the sink, and I can brush my teeth, and I can, get my own water, and I can do a lot more things for myself. It's a lot more livable and normal.
We were all out there working alone, trying different things, not knowing if they would work or not. Now we're working together, learning from one another, and seeing what works and doesn't work in communities, and hearing the voices of not just the urban community, but the rural community, and finding out what we share in common.